How to do group brainstorming. The term brainstorming comes to us from a book written by Alex Osborne in 1948. It was a bestseller. Brainstorming was how to storm a creative problem and do it in a commando fashion with each stormer attacking the same objective. Alex Osborne was an advertising agency partner in one of the most renowned advertising agencies in the country, BBDO. He had 10 admin generate 87 ideas in 90 minutes. His book started a cottage industry. He documented the process in what's now known as the Osborne-Parnes creative problem-solving technique. It has to do with exploring the challenge and defining the problem, generating ideas in an environment where no negativism is allowed. That's a key premise. And preparing for actions once you come up with the ideas and working it into an action plan. So that's the Osborne-Parnes creative problem-solving technique. Yale University came up with a study to test his theory in 1958, 10 years after the book was published. What they found in their study groups was that individuals working alone came up with nearly twice as many ideas as people that worked in groups. Unbelievable. Not only that, the judges deemed the ideas that came from the individuals working alone to have more feasibility. Very unusual finding. You never would have thought that. But that's the way it was. But in our process of brainstorming, what we use is called mind mapping. We have everybody work individually to start with. They come up with the first round of ideas. Everybody's working individually. We get more ideas that way. Then, in 2003, Charlin Namath at the University of California at Berkeley did a study using 265 subjects divided into 5-person groups to study debate. That she gave them a problem. San Francisco traffic problem. One set was given a no criticism rule, another set was given a debate rule, another set was given no rules at all, free form. And the debate rule people were given an outlier person in there that was not a subject matter expert to help jar people's brains, essentially. The results were the debaters came up with nearly twice as many ideas as the other groups. So debate plays here. Debate stimulates thought and sparks creativity. In our mind mapping process, which is what we use for brainstorming, debate is used in rounds 2 and rounds 3. Then in 2007, Ben Jones at Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management looked at the efficacy of team research. Now, he's a PhD in economics from MIT. And I mention that because he reviewed 19.9 million peer-reviewed papers going back to 1950. And 2.1 million patents going back to 1975. This is a massive data set. What he found was levels of teamwork have increased in more than 95% of scientific subfields. Team sizes increased 20% per decade. Multiple author papers received twice as many subsequent citations as references. And home run papers. Those papers that are referenced 100 plus times are 6 times more likely to be run by a team. So much for working solo. Working in groups, more ideas. Teaming works the best. So we team up people in rounds 2 and rounds 3 of mind mapping. The most recent study done by Isaac Cohen, and the first of its type, first study of this type, measured proximity. Now, Isaac Cohen is a Doctor of Medicine from Brown University. He's also a PhD in computer science from Boston University. He's also an authority on biomedical informatics. He had his undergraduate spend 18 months looking at 35,000 peer-reviewed papers, and then he mapped the locations of the authors. And then they tallied the subsequent citations to determine the efficacy of the research. And his results were astounding. He found that people that were separated by a kilometer or more, and then people that were within 10 meters of each other, quite a finding. People that were within 10 meters of each other were the most cited papers. The least cited papers, people were separated by a kilometer or more. So that leads us to believe that creating the intimate workspace and having people work together for research gets you to the best research. People working together. So in our mind mapping process, we have ingredients, we have participants, we have a facilitator, we have a whiteboard. That's the minimum things that are required right there. And you need about 4 hours. And what we do is, in round 1 of the mind map, we have each person individually working alone list the 6 most important things about the topic. Now, our first topic will be our technical approach. So we're going to do a mind map on technical approach. We're asking each person individually. Facilitator will record each person's thoughts on the board in a mind map. As subsequent people speak, the facilitator will try to associate what is being said to something that's already on the board. So things that are similar will be close together. When the last person has their information on the board will be photocopied. During this process, no discussion is allowed. The facilitator's role is to stop any discussion. You have to get through every person in the room. And you don't want to stymie someone downstream in this process from speaking, so stop the discussion. Very important to the process. A final mind map from round 1 will look something like this. It's very messy, and things are just jammed in there because there's a lot of speakers and a lot of ideas that are put together. After that is done, it's photostated and handed out to people. And then we take an illumination break and we play a funny movie so that everyone can get their mind off the subject for a second or 15 minutes and the brain can rest. And while that brain is resting, trust me, it's working. It is working. It allows the brain to illuminate on what everybody said. Gives you a little break to do that. Then we move into round 2 of mind mapping. Same topic. The photostat of the first round is distributed to everybody. We break up into 3 or 4 person groups. And we ask one speaker to be chosen for each group. It's going to be fewer speakers this next time around. And we ask them to take 15 minutes and redo the mind map from a blank sheet of paper. And then one at a time, we put the new material on the board on a blank sheet on the board, blank page, one speaker at a time with no discussion. When that is done, that board is photocopied and copies of it are given out to everybody. So they've got a mind map from round 1 and they've got a mind map from round 2. And the round 2 mind map looks a lot more organized and more succinct than the round 1 mind map, as you can see. That's an important feature of our process. The debate has winnowed it down into more salient things, but we're still not there yet. So we got to take another illumination break, get everybody's mind off of it one more time. And so we play them a little movie, get them to laughing, and then we move into round 3 and we split the room in half. 2 groups. One group sent into another room. They have their copies of the previous mind maps. We ask them to re-mind map it and nominate one speaker for each group. We give them 15 minutes, might take 20. Then we bring the two groups together, and group number one will put their stuff on a clean board. And then group number two will add their stuff into it. And actually what you'll find is that group number two will have exactly about 80% of the same thing that group number one had. Happens every time. Very, very important. Also, what we will do then, after both groups have spoken, we'll do a process that we call gleaning. And we will pick up any of the salient features from round one and round two that need to be included as sublegs in the final mind map and discard what is not needed. We'll enter the material into a computer and we'll publish the final mind map. And the final mind map will have a clarity to it and a succinctness of wording, which you will find refreshing. So in summary, we know that individuals working alone, crafting their ideas, will get you to twice as many ideas on the get-go. So round one of mind mapping is individuals crafting their ideas solo. Then we create the intimate workspace. We have everybody working together. And we work in groups during the mind mapping process and IPTs afterwards to cross-pollinate. And we introduce bait, or as what Charlene Nemeth called properly managed dissent. And we include an outlier in the process to help jar people's brains. So that's essentially our mind mapping and brainstorming process. And if you have any questions for us, please don't hesitate to call. We'd love to help you.